Today's lesson is mycelium. Mushroom packaging comes to the rescue. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our show. I am Roger.
And my name is Helen.
And today it looks like we're talking about cooking here. Something about mushrooms in today's program, but it says something to do with mushroom packaging. So I suppose if you go to the supermarket and you want to buy some mushrooms for a dish, they come in a certain kind of packaging. Is that what this is all about, Helen?
I saw the word mushroom and I thought it had something to do with cooking, but then there is that scientific word mycelium. So usually the title of an article will shed light on what the article will be about. But in this case, I'm just a bit confused.
Yeah, me too, but we'll find out what this is all about as our lesson continues. But just to let you know, this is packaging, which is the stuff that comes around a product when you buy it to keep it fresh or to prevent it from being damaged. That's the packaging. And, you know, this title could mean a couple of things. It could be packaging for mushrooms when you buy them, or it could be packaging that's made out of mushrooms. And that's actually what we're talking about. There's something in mushrooms, some kind of chemical that can actually create packaging, and we're saying it comes to the rescue. Hopefully it's coming to the rescue of the world and all our pollution and our global warming. My goodness, the earth is in big trouble, but people are trying their best to come to the aid of the world. So let's find out what this is all about. Let's read the first paragraph and we'll come back to talk about it.
Mycelium. Mushroom packaging comes to the rescue. These days, everything we buy seems to be packed in styrofoam, which is terrible for the environment. But thanks to inventors Eben Bayer and Gavin McIntyre, that may soon be a thing of the past. Bayer and McIntyre are the founders of Ecovative Design, a company that uses mycelium, the roots of mushrooms, to produce environmentally friendly packaging.
大家好，标题中我们看到一个片语 come to the or one's rescue 用来表示救援、解救……例如 When the woman was robbed, the police quickly came to her rescue and caught the criminal. 那名妇人遭抢劫时，警察迅速赶来救援并逮住犯人。另外补充一个相似的片语，可以用 come to somebody's aid 来代表帮助某人。我们可以说 A nice guy came to my aid when I got lost in the city. 我在那座城市迷路时，一名好心的男子帮了我的忙。接着我们再看到一个片语 A thing of the past 指过去过时的事物，可以用来形容不再流行或不复存在的事物。像是 Typewriters are a thing of the past because people today use computers instead. 打字机已经成为历史，因为现在的人都改用电脑了。另外补充另外一个 past 的片语，常用 push past 来表示超越、强行前进。所以可以说 Dennis pushed past the pain to complete his physical therapy session. Dennis 硬是忍痛完成物理治疗疗程。
Okay, so back to the title here first before we talk about the first paragraph. We've got this phrase, something comes to the rescue. Are we talking about the fire department coming to save somebody from a burning building?
Well, comes to the rescue basically means to solve a problem, or you can say to save the day. So there's got to be an existing problem, and in this case, mycelium or perhaps mushroom packaging will be the solution to the problem. So what is the problem?
Yeah, what is the problem? I have a feeling it has to do with packaging and plastic and stuff like that. So let's get to it. Here in the first paragraph, it says, these days, you could also say nowadays, everything we buy seems to be packed in styrofoam, which is terrible for the environment. So styrofoam, I think in Chinese is bao li long. And yes, indeed, lots of things do come packed in styrofoam. I think it's also referred to as polystyrene foam, which is that white stuff. I remember years ago when you went to your local restaurant and you bought yourself a biendong. The biendong would come in styrofoam, but later on the laws changed and now the biendongs all come in cardboard cartons instead of styrofoam, but still styrofoam is pretty common, and we're saying that it is terrible or bad for the environment.
Right. It used to be that coffee was sold in styrofoam cups and not paper cups as well. And of course, styrofoam is used for packaging. You know, those little S's, the stuff that they put in cardboard boxes to prevent things from breaking or cracking, to act as a cushion to prevent things from breaking. Those are made from styrofoam as well.
Indeed. So again, we're saying this is terrible for the environment. But thanks to inventors Eben Bayer and Gavin McIntyre, that may soon be a thing of the past. So indeed, lots of things are packed in styrofoam. That's bad for the environment. But thanks to these inventors, because of these inventors by the name of Eben Bayer and Gavin McIntyre, well, that may be a thing of the past, and this phrase here, a thing of the past, means it's something that doesn't exist anymore. We don't need to worry about it.
Right, so styrofoam will be a thing of the past thanks to these inventors because they probably invented something to replace styrofoam, so styrofoam will no longer exist.
That's right. Or we could say that because of the new vaccine, foot and mouth disease will soon be a thing of the past. It won't be around anymore. So indeed, styrofoam packaging will not be damaging our environment thanks to these two fellas because of their invention. Let's find out what they have invented here. Bayer and McIntyre are the founders of Ecovative Design. Okay, that's the name of their company. They are the founders. They're the ones who set this company up. It is a company that uses mycelium, the roots of mushrooms, to produce environmentally friendly packaging. So there you go. It's not the mushrooms themselves, but it's the roots of mushrooms. We're saying roots in quotation marks here because they're not really roots, but they're similar to roots. They're kind of like roots. And I guess it's a chemical from those roots that is called mycelium. And this is going to be environmentally friendly packaging.
Of course, and since they come from mushrooms, we know that they're natural, which means they can break down once they're used, and that is friendly to the environment.
Yes, indeed. They are biodegradable, as we say about things that are eco-friendly. Okay, let's move on now to the next paragraph. We're going to listen to it first and find out more about mycelium.
Growing up in rural Vermont, Bayer noticed how mushroom roots spread in tangled nerve-like systems that could bind material together. That knowledge later became the inspiration for his and McIntyre's idea to grow a new type of packing material. Though it took a lot of trial and error to develop, their process is simple. Mycelium is added to agricultural waste like corn stalks or wood chips. The mixture is grown in a mold to create a desired shape, so it can be customized to fit around any item. After heating to stop the growth, the packaging is ready to use. Upon opening a product, the customer can toss the mycelium into the garden, where it will become fertilizer in just a few weeks. Mycelium's uses don't stop there. Ecovative's team is developing other applications of the technology too.
第二部分，我们看到形容词 tangled， 指纠结、缠绕在一起的。举例来说， Every time I put my earphones in my bag, the cords become a tangled mess by the time I take them out again. 每次我把我的耳机放进包包里，当我再次拿出来的时候，线都会混乱地纠缠在一起。另外，将 tangled 去除字尾的 d， 可以成为它的动词 tangle， 有使缠结、使卷入之意。我们可以说Don't tangle with my neighbor since he gets angry very easily. 不要和我的邻居起冲突，因为他很容易生气。再来，我们看到一个单字 mold， 这个字在课文中是名词，指模具、模子。像是 For Judy's birthday party, we're going to use these molds to make car-shaped chocolates. Judy 生日时，我们要用这些模具做出车子形状的巧克力。 另外 mold 除了可以当名词之外，还能当作动词，指形塑、打造。我们可以说The costume designer had to mold the latex on the actor's body in order to make his costume. 戏剧服装设计师必须在那名演员身上做出乳胶模型，才能制作他的戏服。接着我们看到动词 customize 有客制化、按顾客要求定制的意思。例如 You can customize your t-shirt with a variety of graphics, fonts, and colors. 你可以用多样化的图案、字形和色彩客制化你的 T-shirt。又或者说 Steve customized his old van to use it as a camper. Steve 客制改装他的旧休旅车，当作露营车使用。
Welcome back, everyone. So we've got two inventors, Bayer and McIntyre, who seem to have found a solution to a very serious problem, which is the use of styrofoam as packaging material. What they've come up with instead is a similar material but made of mushroom roots, or roots in quotation, so something similar to roots, which naturally means it breaks down. Now, how did they come up with this idea?
Well, first of all, they had to become adults so they could go to university and get their degrees and stuff and start working in this field. So growing up in rural Vermont, Bayer noticed how mushroom roots spread in tangled nerve-like systems that could bind material together. So this particular person grew up in a rural setting. Rural, that's actually two syllables there. Kind of hard to say because you got two R sounds there. Rural. That's even hard for me to say. That's the opposite of urban. If you live in Taipei or Taichung or Kaohsiung, you're living in an urban environment. But if you live in, say, Yunlin County or Taidong or Hualien, those are rural areas of Taiwan. So Vermont, of course, is a state in the United States. It's in New England there. And so he was growing up there when he was a kid. And if you live in a rural setting, of course, you're going to see lots of trees and birds and stuff, and also mushrooms. And he noticed that mushroom roots spread in tangled nerve-like systems that could bind material together. Tangled. That's what happens to your hair, ladies, if you don't comb it every day.
That's right. If something is tangled, its parts are twisted around each other in a very untidy way. So hair gets tangled if you don't comb it. And something that's tangled is also complicated and difficult to deal with. So it doesn't have to be a physical thing, but it could be a situation.
Yep, our accounting is a big tangled mess because our accountant was incompetent. So in any case, that's an example sentence, but in any case here, yes, he was observing those mushroom roots and they spread in a tangled-like way. It was also nerve-like, like the nervous system. If you've seen pictures of nerves, kind of looks like that, but they could also bind material together. So yes, they did have these tangled roots and they were nerve-like systems, but still they served a purpose. They could bind or connect things together. Now here in the next sentence it says that knowledge later became the inspiration for his and McIntyre's idea to grow a new type of packing material. So I guess he was inspired by seeing those mushroom roots.
Right. I guess seeing those mushroom roots bind together and create certain forms and how they got tangled up, seeing that made him think of using that material as packaging material, maybe because it was easy to make them into certain shapes.
So in any case here, they were trying to develop packing material for products so that they could be sent safely. And so that's where he got his inspiration, or he was inspired by those mushroom roots. Now, here in the next sentence, it says, though it took a lot of trial and error to develop, their process is simple. So here we've got the phrase trial and error.
Trial and error basically means you didn't manage to do something at one go. It didn't happen suddenly, immediately. It involves a way of finding a good method by trying several possibilities and learning from your mistakes.
Right. Trial here could refer to something that's happening in a court the trial between the defendant and the prosecution. But here, trial is like when they try something. They're trying to sample something. Your trial, a product is having a trial run in the public to see if people like it or something. So they try something and they probably have a failure, so they try again. That's trial and error. So yes, indeed, it took a lot of that to develop this product. They had to start and stop and fail and start over again. But the process still is simple. Even though they tried and failed many times, it's still a rather simple process.
Right. The process basically involves adding mycelium to agricultural waste like corn stalks or wood chips. Agricultural here, of course, means anything that's related to farming. And when you do farming, you also create certain waste products like corn stalks, which are the top part of the corn, a long, thin part of the corn at the end, and also wood chips. So by adding mycelium to these agricultural waste products, you can create a new product.
Right, and of course, those sound very natural. Corn stalks, leftover products from corn after it is harvested, and after you cut wood, then you've got these wood chips. Now, the mixture is grown in a mold to create a desired shape, so it can be customized to fit around any item. So here we've got mold, M-O-L-D. If you're in England, of course, they'll add a U to that, M-O-U-L-D, but the American spelling is M-O-L-D. It's something that actually shapes something. If you melt steel, for example, you pour it into a mold, and when it cools, then it takes the shape of the mold.
That's right. So a mold is basically a container shaped in a certain way so that when you pour the liquid in, the liquid takes on that shape. So by using a mold to create a desired shape, the mixture can be customized to fit around any item. Customize here means to change the way something looks or works so that it's exactly what you want or need it to be.
Right. So, of course, if you're going to buy a new smartphone, it's going to be packaged in a box, maybe with styrofoam. And, of course, they will have this material assume the shape of the phone so that when it's shipped, it won't be damaged. And, of course, you're customizing this material around the product, in this case, a smartphone, but it could be anything. It could be computer accessories, a keyboard, a mouse, or whatever. These things can all be customized. That's something we would buy if we wanted to fit our particular body. You know, if you're a cyclist, and you want to compete in the Tour de France, you want to have your bicycle customized. You want it to be built to fit your body and nobody else's.
Right. Or I could say the language course can be customized to fit the needs of each person, which means the language course isn't uniform. It's not made for everybody who wants to learn that language, but it meets the needs of individuals.
So after heating to stop the growth, the packaging is ready to use. So yes, they need to heat this material to stop the growth of those roots. As you know, roots continue to grow, so you need to stop them somehow, so they apply heat to these mushroom roots, and that will stop the growing, and then you can use the packaging.
Right. I suppose the product grows in the shape of the mold, and then once it takes the shape of the mold, you need it to stop growing. And then so you heat it and the packaging is ready to use. Now, upon opening a product, the customer can toss the mycelium into the garden where it will become fertilizer in just a few weeks. So this product is really useful and it has multiple benefits.
Right. So upon opening a product, when you open it, at the very moment that you open this product, you can just throw that mycelium into your garden or into your yard, into the dirt there, into the soil. Just toss it there, just place it there, and it will become fertilizer in only a few weeks. Fertilizer, that's something that gives nutrients to the soil, right?
Right. It's basically a natural or chemical substance that you add to soil in order to help plants grow. And fertilizers can be artificial or it could be natural. And of course, the natural kind is better if you're talking about growing food.
Like organic fertilizer as opposed to nitrogen, which is often used as fertilizer in agriculture. So in any case, yes, this sounds natural. It can help your flowers grow in your garden. And in just a few weeks that will happen. Mycelium's uses don't stop there. That's not the only thing you can use mycelium for. Ecovativ's team is developing other applications of the technology too. Now here, application, of course, that immediately makes me think of apps or app for your phone, but it's not quite the same meaning here, right?
Yes, not quite. It's basically the particular use of something, how you apply something to something else. So that is basically the meaning of application in this context. So Ecovative's team is developing other uses of this particular kind of technology.
Yeah, application could be when you actually try to get a job or when you're trying to get into a university, you fill out an application. Or as I said, it could be some computer program in your phone. But here, application is just use, a different place to use that particular thing. There are many applications for the peanut, for example. You can use it in a lot of different places, as the inventor George Washington Carver taught us. Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson. Let's move on now to the final part of our lesson now.
Who knows? One day, Ecovative's malleable little mushrooms may just save our planet.
最后第三部分我们看到单字 malleable 这个字是形容词，指有可塑性、延展性的。举例来说， The clay is malleable so that we can model it into any shape we want. 粘土是具可塑性的，所以我们可以将它塑造成我们想要的形状。
Okay, who knows? The possibilities are limitless. One day, Ecovative's malleable little mushrooms may just save our planet. Malleable, what does that mean?
Malleable basically means something that's easy to press into different shapes, easy to manipulate, also easy to persuade or influence. So in this case, the mushrooms are malleable because they can shape into customized packaging and shapes. And because they are biodegradable and they're natural, they may just save our planet because we won't need to rely on plastic anymore.
No, we won't. And as an example for malleable, I could say modeling clay is malleable, so you can shape it into all sorts of things. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation. Let's hear again from our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分有一个句子是 Upon opening a product, the customer can toss the mycelium into the garden, where it will become fertilizer in just a few weeks. 顾客一打开商品，他们能把菌丝体丢到花园，几周后就会成为肥料。好，这边要介绍的是where 当关系副词的用法。 where 当关系副词是用来修饰或是补充说明表示地方的先行词，那它就相当于介系词加上 which， 像是 at which 或是 in which 等等。那我们用 where 来引导关系子句的话，它分成限定用法跟非限定用法。好，我们先来看限定用法，就是当先行词它是不明确的地点，这时候就要用限定用法。 where 的前面不加逗号，然后 where 引导的关系子句是要去限定先行词的范围，像是 This is the town where his grandparents used to live. 这是他爷爷奶奶以前住的城镇。好，那么 the town这个先行词是不明确的地点，所以用限定用法。我们看到 where 的前面没有加逗号， where his grandparents used to live 就是用来限定 the town 的范围，说明是他爷爷奶奶以前住的那个城镇。好，那么来看非限定用法，这是用在当先行词是明确地点的时候。那么这时候 where 的前面就要加逗号咯， where 引导的关系子句是要对先行词做补充说明，像是 Ray spent his summer vacation in Tainan where his grandparents live. Ray 在台南度过暑假，那是他爷爷奶奶住的地方。好，那句中的先行词台南是明确的地点，所以我们就用非限定用法。这时候 where 的前面就会加逗号了， where his grandparents live 是用来补充说明台南是他爷爷奶奶住的地方。 好，回头来看课文的句子，它的先行词 the garden 就是指顾客自家的花园，那这时候不用限定范围，所以我们就看到 where 的前面它有加逗号，表示它是非限定用法。那 where 引导的关系子句就是要对花园做补充说明，所以 where it will become fertilizer in just a few weeks 是指说在那里，也就是在花园里，菌丝体几周就会成为肥料了。好，另外课文句子里面用到介系词 upon， 它是用来表达一怎么样就怎么样，那它的用法是 upon 加上名词或动名词，可以摆在主要子句的前面或后面，像是 upon learning the good news, she posted it on Facebook。他一知道这个好消息就把它 po 在脸书上了。好，以上是今天重点整理，我们回顾今天单字吧。
Rural. Josh prefers the peace and quiet of a rural area to the noise of a city. Tangled. The yarn was a tangled mess after my cat was done playing with it. Agricultural. The country has to import a lot of agricultural products in order to feed its population. Customize. This cable company customizes packages of TV channels to suit individual customers. Fertilizer. The farmer uses machinery to mix fertilizer into the soil. Application. A common application of this technology is to treat water, making it safe for people to drink.
Discussion Starter starts now!
Okay, it's time now for our discussion starter. Here is the question. In addition to reducing the need for styrofoam, what are the other benefits of using mycelium packaging?
It's also good for helping other plants grow because packaging made from mycelium can be used as fertilizer.
Well, it can also help produce bubble wrap, I'm hoping, by using some other scientific processes to make it into a different kind of packaging, not just for styrofoam, but maybe for clear plastic, because that's pretty awful for the environment. Plastic destroys the earth every bit as much as styrofoam does. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Roger.
I'm Helen.
See you next time.